Welcome back, friends. It is Wednesday, which means we get to visit with our West Coast bestie, Michael Babcock at TMZ, to get the scoop on today's hottest Hollywood headlines. Good. You know what? Shaq called you Mike, which I did not know we could call you. So what's up, Mike?
What's up?
Shaq, as in Shaquille
It
O'Neal.
doesn't sound right. Yeah. We talked to Shaq yesterday. I thought I was gonna win. I embarrassed myself.
You got an orange Lambo.
Yeah, I did. It has not. The new car has not come in the mail yet, but yeah, I'm gonna be carrying it around because it's a toy car. So
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Michael, how did you embarrass yourself?
he asked me to spell in a word that is not very hard to spell, reciprocal, but I froze in the spot. Like I could not. I could just. It wouldn't come to me.
I couldn't spell it either. I can't spell it for you right now.
Once you look at it, though, then you can. And he said, "I'll buy you a brand new Porsche, black on black Porsche right now if you can spell this word." And I got like,
gosh.
Yeah.
He was kidding because then later on he asked me to spell an easier word. He said, "I'll give you an orange Lamborghini if you spell that." And I spelled it, and then he had a toy. He was doing like a toy drawing.
He's doing a bit.
Yesterday. Yeah, it was a bit. So no car for me.
It was great. It was great, though.
I'm stuck with the same old.
By the way,
crappy
you're
car.
doing a great job hosting for Harvey.
Oh, thank you very much.
And what
I
a
appreciate
week
that.
to be filling in
Yeah,
for Harvey.
that's
My
Rob
goodness.
Reiner.
Michael,
you're not
just really
kidding,
quickly,
man.
Maddie, because Maddie's worked there, I haven't, but it seems like every time Harvey takes a vacation, something major happens.
It does. Honestly, I was thinking that on Sunday night after we found out that this was in fact Rob Reiner and Michelle, his wife. I was thinking the same exact thing every single time. I don't remember last time, but there was some big.
Oh, there was
story.
a big one though last time.
Yeah,
I remember.
It's like nothing will happen, and then he goes away, and then undoubtedly something massive happens. So, go figure.
No wonder he's a workaholic. He can't get away
right.
from it. So
He knows, right?
yeah. But speaking of Rob and Michelle Reiner, I mean, this whole
Terrible.
completely
It is.
mind-blowing.
Yeah, and we found out a lot since Sunday. I mean, we find out about this argument at this Conan O'Brien party. I don't know if people have heard about this or not, but on Saturday night, this was they were found Sunday afternoon at like 4 p.m. But it's Saturday night, they go to a party at Conan O'Brien's house. It's an annual holiday, or not at his house, but an annual party that Conan O'Brien throws. A really like glitzy and glamorous party. People will dress up nice, you wear suits, you wear dresses. So Michelle and Rob went to the party, and they brought Nick with them. Nick, we were told, first of all, looked very out of place at the party. He wasn't dressed up. He had a hood on, was very much acting to himself, acting erratically, just acting strange. At the party, he gets into this big fight with his father, the blowout fight. Rob and Michelle ultimately end up leaving. Now, just hours later, then they are found deceased in their home. Again, that was 4 p.m. in their Brentwood compound. We found out yesterday that Nick had checked into a hotel in Santa Monica at 4 a.m. So Saturday night is the party. They get into the argument. 4 a.m. So just literally a few hours later, he checks into this hotel. We're told he's acting strange as he checks in. No visible wounds or anything looking like he had been in combat. However, when the hotel staff went into that same room hours later, to turn it over for the next guest, there was blood all over the place, all over the room. The sheets, the walls, the floor, everywhere. And I think then at 4 p.m. or 3:40 technically, the 911 call ultimately is placed p.m. So about 12 hours after he checked into the hotel, after his sister Rami, Michelle and Rob's daughter, finds her parents deceased, and obviously calls 911. So I think the question is, if he did what the police say he did, and he's been charged now with 2 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances, and they could go after him they could go after the death penalty. But I think the question is, had he done something allegedly to them before he checked into that hotel? Did it happen right after the Conan party? Did he sneak out of the hotel and go back to the home to allegedly kill them and then come back? Because somehow, some way, that room was completely filled with blood, and they weren't. That's not the crime scene. So
see, I was confused too, Michael. I was watching, I think it was Charlie Neff who was doing a video yesterday about this stuff, and she was talking about the hotel room and the tub being full, and then the room. Yeah. And I was like, but if he checked in and looked fine, where did all that come from?
Right.
So I immediately thought, did he check in, leave, and then come back?
I know. I think that
work?
definitely could be. And we haven't gotten that yet because the police haven't said. But I think that's the question, Jeremy. because when he checked in, nobody has told us that they saw him covered in blood or anything. It sounds like there was a lot of blood in the room. So you would imagine that, where was that? How could he check into the room and not be noticed by somebody? So perhaps that points to him leaving the room and coming back. But
and I'm just thinking the distance between Brentwood to Santa Monica, it's not huge, but like you still would leave that trail, literally.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point, Maddie. You would think so, right? I mean, some miles, and fine. I guess it would have been early, Saturday morning into Sunday early morning, so maybe not a lot of traffic. So, there's a lot of questions still. And then ultimately he's arrested at about 9 p.m. Sunday night without cause or without fuss. He doesn't fight or try and flee. And it was LAPD, and they asked for the U.S. Marshals. So they actually had some federal help here. They're good at tracking down fugitives. So U.S. Marshals, LAPD, they find him, take him into custody, and that's where he's been ever since. No bond.
Doesn't that say something too about, because I've watched enough true crime TV shows and podcasts to know his mental state to not even clean the room.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
this was not, he was going to get caught, right, Jeremy? Yeah. I don't think there was, even any effort made to conceal what happened here. I think even right when his sister finds the bodies and calls the police and they get there, one of the first things she says to them is that my brother, Nick, lives here and he's dangerous.
Oh.
She immediately pointed the finger at her brother. She knew.
Yeah. It's just so sad.
It's terribly sad. He was so talented, and everyone says she was a lovely person too. I don't mean to forget about her when I talk about him always, but the movies that he has done, whether it's comedy to Greenlight, Seinfeld, Misery. I mean, he was involved in so many different.
I didn't even realize all the movies till he passed, and then everybody starts talking about it. I'm like, I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
I didn't either, Jeremy. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's what an incredible career. That's. You get one of those, that's amazing. But to have a bunch like he did, they're pretty impressive.
And being the son of Carl Reiner, paving your own path.
Yeah, right. Imagine the shadow, and then to actually live up to it. Pretty cool, and not the way. Goes without saying, but not the way that anyone should ever have to go out. But and by your son allegedly is horrible.
Well, Michael, sorry, we're out of time for the second story. That was just so compelling.
Well, I never saw Stranger Things anyway, so.
Yeah.
No, Schnapp, fine.
It's all good.
Over.
You said the finale's sad. There you go.
Have a great time hosting TMZ, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Jeremy, Maddie, thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. All right, you can catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m. and TMZ Live weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on Fox. Coming up, we have a special frozen holiday treat from Andy's Frozen Custard right after this.
Yay!